Hello there, I'm Shilin Cotton, and I'm here with TheGamer to help you pick which house to choose in Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. You get a lot less time to get to know the characters in 3 Hopes versus 3 Houses. It's understandable, the narrative moves along much quicker in this Warriors spin-off, and it's incredibly likely you've already played 3 Houses before starting your 3 Hopes adventure. That being said, it's still a huge choice to make. Which house you choose affects not only which side of the narrative you get to experience, but has a great impact on the gameplay. So let's break down some of the pros and cons of all 3 houses, both narratively and strategically. In picking Edelgard and the Black Eagles, you choose to team up with Hubert, Ferdinand, Petra, Casper, Bernadetta, Dorothea, Linhardt, and later Monica. Story-wise, the Black Eagle route is pretty interesting. Edelgard is a pretty complex character, and her quest to make Bodlin a place of equality is one of the more morally gray narratives of the 3 houses. Black Eagles is also the only house that gets to recruit Monica and watch her romance, if it can be called that, with Edelgard bloom. In terms of gameplay, Black Eagles has the most magic specialists of all the houses, between Hubert, Dorothea, Monica, and Linhardt. This in turn means that the group can struggle against sword enemies with only Edelgard, Ferdinand, and Casper to make up your front lines, and Bernie to fill in for archery. Dimitri might seem a little stiff at first, but choosing the Blue Lion route reveals him to be a much more complicated man. His team is made up of Dudu, Ingrid, Felix, Mercedes, Sylvain, Ash, Annette, and Rodrigue. The whole narrative of the Blue Lion's route feels very Arthurian in nature. A little glum at first, but otherwise a very romantic fantasy story of a just king reclaiming his throne. Also, if you liked Rhea and the other characters of the Church of Saros, Blue Lions has the most interaction with them overall. Blue Lions might technically be the most well-rounded in terms of team composition from the get-go. There is a pretty high emphasis on Lancers between Ingrid, Sylvain, Rodrigue, and of course Dimitri. However, you do have Ash as an archer, Annette for magic, and Mercedes for heals. Dudu and Felix make a pretty good frontline as well, though you won't have any brawlers to start out. Golden Deer is a pretty fun route to pick. Claude has always been a rather charismatic leader, especially pitted against the Ice Queen and King. The Leicester Alliance does have a bit of a rough go of it, between Edelgard's pressing advances, armies of invaders, and a sprinkling of treachery. The Golden Deer team is a good bunch as well, between Lorenz, Hilda, Lysithea, Raphael, Ignatz, Marianne, Leonie, and Holst. Strategy-wise though, you'll find that the Golden Deer is lacking in magical prowess. Lysithea and Marianne fill that role as best they can. Claude and Ignatz are powerful archers, and both Lorenz and Leonie will make for good cavaliers. Overall, Golden Deer is pretty beefy, with Hilda, Raphael, and Holst making for a strong line of attackers. So, which house should you choose? Well, if you've made it this far, you can probably tell that this is really one of those it's up to you types of questions. When it comes to the narrative particularly, you cannot go wrong with any of the 3 routes. And let's be honest, we mostly play Fire Emblem for the characters. You know your own personal preferences, so let your heart guide you. However, if you want a more straightforward answer, here is our ranking of the 3 houses. Blue Lions, Black Eagles, and then Golden Deer. This is largely because the Blue Lions have one of the most balanced teams of all the houses and also one of the most classic Fire Emblem narratives. Both Black Eagles and Golden Deer will have some struggles strategy-wise that can be shored up by recruiting new units. But Black Eagles arguably has the biggest stake in the conflict of 3 Hopes, whereas the Golden Deer route is fun to play to fill in all the holes. And because Claude is charming as heck, what can we say? Which house is your favorite? For more tips and guides on Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, be sure to check out TheGamer.com.